Hey everybody, welcome back. It's not Friday. Amazing. We are back for a ULA launch. I can't believe it. Project Kuiper. Is Jeff Bezos going to get this off the ground or his satellites off the ground using ULA? I don't know. We were here the last time and yeah, it was about 5 hours. I'm over here on the side because eventually my wife will be right here. But I guess I'll take over her spot for just a minute until she comes. Anyways, so this is kind of exciting because, we always want to see competition. Even though I'm not a fan of Jeff Bezos over there, it's still, I like to see competition no matter how, because more competition means more innovation, means more of more, right? You're going to end up with lower prices and all kinds of other stuff, usually what ends up happening. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on here real quick on their website. Can I bring you over? I should be able to bring you over. Are you over? You are over. All right, so let's check this out here. What do we got? Latest update. Yes, control 60 minutes remain from liftoff, Atlas 5, 5551. Rocket carrying the first satellites of Amazon's Project Kuiper. Excellent. And here we go. This was the latest update as of a few seconds ago. 30% of the liquid hydrogen is already filled. So they're on their way. Supposedly this is going to happen at 7 p.m. Right now it is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They are in Florida like I am, so obviously we're at the same time zone. So they should be going live, I believe, at 6:30. So anyways, before I go and run on and on, as I always do, let's go ahead and see what matter of fact, I'm gonna leave this on. Maybe I'll come over to here. So this is where we will be live eventually. So I don't know, we'll leave that. Matter of fact, you know what? We'll switch over to the chat, see what's going on over here with the chat. In the meantime, let me say hello to people here. We have Radioactive Texan. How are you doing? We have Mark Spencer. How you doing, Mark? Of course, we have Shannon. Thank you, Shannon, for being here. Thank you for everything. And we have Speed Racer in the house, Fragile. And who else? We got Rico is here. WT. If you're in the house, put a little emoji, put something in there so I can kind of recognize you as being here. So hopefully everything goes as planned. Before we get too deep into it, how does the mic sound? I always like to say that first because we do have a new mic now working. Let me see. Let's see. Are we dead center? Yeah, we're center. So we have the new mic going. So hopefully that sounds pretty good. Let me know. Let's see, who else is here? We have, let's see, Michael Brown. Thank you for being here, Michael. And if you guys have any questions going on, Joe is here. John Wolf is in the house. If you have any questions, put at JCristina before your question. It just makes it easier to see. And Fabiola's here. I'll give you this when you get a chance. You can plug yourself in. There you go. Just wire up. So anyways, I want to kind of go through before they go live. So we have 25 minutes before this happens. And I want to give you kind of a backstory of what is going on. I wrote a little bit something up on this. Let me see. Is there something new in here? There is. It's basically who's doing the countdown, so on and so forth. Nothing important there. But anyways, before it, we have 25 minutes. So before Fabiola gets in here or while she's setting up, I want to read some of this to you so you know what's going on, all right? I will move over for her. Here we go. Everything's sounding good? Let me see. Yes, sounds great. Okay, love to hear that. Okay, so check this out. This is kind of like some backstory. It says Amazon is set to make a significant leap into the satellite internet arena with up-and-coming launch of Project Kuiper satellites. The initiative aims to provide global broadband service, positioning Amazon as a formidable competitor to SpaceX Starlink. Obviously, that is incorrect. The inaugural launch is scheduled for today, which is April 28th. Let's see. The mission designated KA 1, which is Kuiper Atlas 1, will deploy 27 satellites in low Earth orbit aboard the ULA, or United Launch Alliance's Atlas 5 rocket. The launch is set to occur in Cape Canaveral, that is up the road from us, at 7 p.m. today. Hopefully there's no problems like last time. This event signifies the commencement of Amazon's ambitious plan to establish a constellation of over 3,200 satellites aimed at delivering high-speed, low-latency internet access worldwide. Let's see. Let me see here. How you doing, baby?
Hi.
You're here.
I'm here. I made it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna finish through this, and then you can kind of say hello to everyone.
Always weird.
Is it?
Yeah, because it's not Friday night.
No, it isn't. It is not, but that's okay. Let's see here. Here we go. Amazon's entry into satellite internet market directly changes SpaceX Starlink, or directly challenges SpaceX Starlink, which currently dominates the sector with over 7,000, it's actually 7,100 now, SpaceX Starlink satellites and a user base of just exceeding 5 million users across 125 countries. While SpaceX Starlink operates at an altitude of 550 kilometers, Project Kuiper will be sitting at 600 kilometers. This strategic position aims to enhance coverage and service quality, offering a compelling alternative to existing service. That is completely false, but that's what always happens with these articles. This article was from, I believe it was last week, and they always talk about how great things are going to be with Project Kuiper, but I'll get into that in just a second. Regulatory, this is one of the issues. And adhering to the FCC, or the Federal Communication Commission's requirement, Amazon is obligated to deploy at least half of the satellite constellation by mid-2026. This equates to roughly 1,618 satellites within the next year and a half. Following the initial launch, Amazon intends to conduct beta testing of its Kuiper broadband service with a commercial rollout anticipated late 2025. That is absolutely not possible, and I'll tell you why. The launch of Project Kuiper's first operational satellite marks a significant milestone in the satellite internet industry. Amazon's strategic approach, encompassing technological innovation, robust partnerships, and aggressive deployment schedule, aggressive deployment schedule would be key here, positioning it as a formidable contender. It is not formidable in the global broadband market. As Project Kuiper progresses, it promises to reshape the dynamics of satellite internet service, offering consumers more choices, which it would if it ever gets off the ground, and potentially driving advancements in global connectivity. I agree with that. The problem that I see here is that they are just not going to be able to meet the goal. Their goal is 1,618, but within another year and a half, and there's no way to do it. Even if they did 27 satellites every single month going forward, they're going to get to 243. 243 is a lot less than 1,600, right? So they're 1,200 short. So it's just not going to work. It won't be feasible. And I did some calculations here in Florida the last time to see where would we be at if there was 240 satellites on orbit. And basically we would end up with like 55 to 60% uptime. And no one's going to use a service that's down half the time, right? So it's not possible to go commercial anything with Project Kuiper by the end of this year. So that's as long as we get all that straight. So I'm hoping that they actually launch today so they get their very first inaugural flight up there with 27 Project Kuiper satellites, and they can start building on that. But they're going to need a miracle to be able to get to 1,600. Now, what happens if they don't get to 1,600? Well, what ends up happening is that they're going to have to request an extension, or they get a big slap on the wrist, let's say. And they could possibly get their license pulled from them if they don't meet the FCC's requirement. So that's like in a nutshell of what's going on. We have T-minus 20 minutes before launch, and I have to say welcome to Fabiola. Say hello, everyone.
Say hello, everyone. How are you doing this afternoon? It feels so weird because I'm so used to not being here during a weekday and usually a Friday night, as you know. So this is kind of cool, exciting. See what happens. Shannon is in the house. Thanks for the super chat, dude. The purple hair.
The purple hair super chat. Gotta love it.
One day we're going to have Joe change it to a different color hair.
You want to change it?
No, I mean, it's
Okay.
good for
Purple
now.
hair is okay.
Official live on the purple hair. My money is on a new launch blow up. We need dancing Elon for this. We do need.
There we go.
dancing
Throw on the
Elon.
dancing Elon. I was not able to find a dancing
I know someone already
Jeff
asked.
Bezos, and it's really upsetting to me. If anyone has a green screen Jeff Bezos dancing, you let me know, and I will see if I can put him in here
Yes.
while we're waiting for them to actually launch.
Yes. Oh, Peter Gosling, how are you, bud?
Peter, thank you for being in the house.
And he kicked it off with memberships.
20 free memberships from Peter. Thank you, Peters. That's really, really appreciated. Thank you, Shannon, for everything. All of the super chats that come through, we always appreciate them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 20 people. I'm not going to read them all off because we have a limited amount of time before they go live. So I just want to get into any questions that you have.
I know I saw some, so I'm
All
just
right.
going to backtrack because obviously I
Then you can say hello to people too. Remember, put in at JCristina before any questions. And once they go live, all right, I'm going to switch over to the big screen. So we'll be small. We'll still be here. We'll be small. And we're going to turn their volume up and ours way down so you can actually hear and see everything that's going on. So you're not impeded
Oh my
by
god.
our nonsense.
The big pink emojis. DJ Neo 83. It is Peter Madsen. I see you.
Wow.
That is amazing. I hope you're doing well, Peter. We missed you.
Yes, it's-
Shout out, you guys, to the OG Peter Madsen, DJ.Neo83. I love it.
Where is it? Let me see here.
Right in front of your face.
Oh, wow. Nice, nice,
That
nice.
is awesome that you're here.
See?
Love it.
We've been waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, I know. We haven't forgotten, bud. We have not forgotten.
Yes.
Let's see. I saw someone asked something, but
What did they ask?
Radioactive Texan, will Kuiper have some sat supporting ham radio?
No. I don't believe so. I don't believe so. It's going to be all of Project Kuiper is going to be just like Elon Musk SpaceX Starlink is. That's basically it. It's just one is sitting at 600 kilometers, the other one at 550, and that's it. It's the same type of thing, nothing different. But I've heard nothing about any type of E-node Bs on those satellites. That means that they will not have the ability to do DTC or direct to cell connectivity that Elon Musk has. He's got about 300 plus satellites on orbit now doing that direct to cell, which is cool. That's the stuff where you can just pick up your phone and use a cell tower in space, basically. I have not heard nothing about Project Kuiper doing anything like it. The only thing is today I did a report on, you won't get it until probably tomorrow. AST Space Mobile is doing their version of DTC or direct to cell, and SpaceX isn't too happy about it. Obviously it's a competitor, but also the stuff that they're doing is kind of just doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's gonna hurt certain people like astronomers, terrestrial astronomers, a lot of different things. But watch my video tomorrow for more information about that. Once again, any questions, put in at JCristina,
there's one
and we will
here.
jump into them.
Real quick, you guys, I'm just going through real quick. John Z, hey JC, I was reading that Viasat is looking to do their own LEO network next couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, so everyone is trying to do a LEO network because that's where the networks are going to end up being, because they're at a good distance that will allow them to have fast speeds, but also the most important thing is low latency. Elon Musk, SpaceX, Starlink, the latency is going to be, it is actually sub 20 milliseconds. I've seen 14 millisecond latency. That is fast as hell from a satellite at 500 plus kilometers in space. So everyone is trying to do the same thing. Forever they were sitting in MEO or they were sitting in GEO at 36,000 kilometers instead of 500 kilometers. It's a major difference, right? And the problem is the latency. The latency compared to 20 milliseconds, the latency is like 1,000 milliseconds. So yeah, Viasat could do it. HughesNet can do it. All the rest of them, they're going to go out of business if they don't do something. And my prediction was that the government would buy at least one of them out, or they will do the same thing as DirecTV and Dish Network does or did, and buy each other out. And then there's one instead of two. And that could be the same thing that happens with Viasat and HughesNet. one buys the other one out, and then you end up with one, and then that one ends up selling out to the government, and there you go. End of story. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening. I just don't see them doing a whole low Earth orbit. They're so far behind the 8 ball. They're just grasping at this point. That's my personal opinion.
Okay. Ricky Joe, you made it.
Ricky Joe is here.
A lot
Thank
of you are here. I'm trying to catch up and go through.
Shannon, I will do that immediately. Thank you.
Spartan, did I miss the launch? No, we are waiting and we're going to go live with it once it starts. Ricky R. Green, love and light to all. Yes, please.
Love and light. Thank you.
Andrew, Enio, how are you? Hey, hola, konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Craig, hi, y'all. I wonder if it will go tonight.
I'm hoping, guys. I'm hoping. The last time I was here for 5 hours and it didn't go. They kept on, what was it, 4? I don't know. They kept on postponing it. Spartan
1312, which one is sitting lower? Did you hear me?
What's that? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said
I was watching
1312.
Bezos laughing himself.
Spartan 1312, which one is sitting lower?
So Elon Musk SpaceX is lower at like 550 kilometers, whereas Project Kuiper is going to be at 600 kilometers, but SpaceX Starlink is coming down in altitude, and I believe they have authorization to fly the birds at about 330, 350 kilometers, something like that. So they're coming lower, not higher. So, the lower, the better. You got to keep this in mind, okay? I'm going to make this really, really quick, because if not, she'll kick me under the table. There's a cone of instance where it's actually each one of these satellites can, let's say, transmit data, right? There's like a cone that comes down. As you get further and further from Earth, the cone gets bigger, all right, which is a good thing, but your latency goes up too. So what they have to do is bring the birds down lower so that the cone is tighter, but it's faster speeds, lower latency. But when you tighten the cones, it means that you need more birds, more satellites on orbit, because you need more coverage because the cone is tighter. You follow all that? So, we'll see how they do it, how they work it. 600 kilometers is their sweet spot for Project Kuiper, and that's where they're going to fly it. Elon Musk wants them lower, and that's what he's going to get. So...
Okay, let's see. Phoenix on fire. Will it even matter now if they launch if it's not for free?
Yeah, nothing's for free.
Yeah.
Nothing is for free.
Honey Badgers, hey all. Will we see if Bezos Project Kuiper is going to launch today or not? We shall see.
Yes, we shall see. That's what we're here. I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Phil's camping. Is this another attempt at a launch?
It is another attempt. This is it. Supposedly at 7 o'clock. That is when it is supposed to happen. So.
Oscar A. Greetings from Virginia Beach. Hope it's delayed by 30 minutes for photo opportunity.
That would be nice. We'll see.
Ricky Joe said, how is the weather there? It looks like it's about to rain here. Ricky Joe, you're in Palatka, so... I don't even know how far that is from us. How close are you to Cape Canaveral from Palatka?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't either. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah.
Or you tell me. Let's see who gets there first. And why?
Shannon, I took a look at that green screen. It doesn't loop very well, so it's just going to be a stuttery mess, but I appreciate that. I wasn't able to find one where he's just kind of like wandering around like Elon is here, right? Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know. I'm going to keep looking. When I find one, I'm going to put it in here. We're going to have a Bezos dance off. We'll have we'll have Elon wandering around at the bottom, and then we'll have Bezos wandering around too. I don't know, doing something stupid, like, I don't know. Yeah.
Rico Suave, condom cones on satellite birdies.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, okay, Ricky Joe, you're about 2.5 hours. Yes, I just looked it up. Cool.
2.5 hours?
We're like three. We're actually 3 hours.
Okay.
South of Cape Canaveral. I don't even know. I should look up. You should look up what the weather is.
No, it's doing good.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually I'm on there, and weather is good. Weather is good. They just said the countdown is continuing smoothly towards a liftoff in 40 minutes from Cape Canaveral. Following liftoff, the rocket will embark on a northeasterly trajectory, and onboard guidance will target a near circular low Earth orbit LEO of approximately 280 miles or 450 kilometers and a 51.9 degree inclination. It'll take approximately 18 minutes of powered flight to reach that orbit. And remember, once it gets to orbit at that 450, then it will slowly slot, or all 27 of them, if it all works out, slowly slot themselves into the correct altitude. And that takes sometimes, from an hour to a week. It just depends on where they're going. So keep that in mind. But everything as of about 30 seconds ago is a go. So that's good. We're just going to keep on watching the site for any kind of updates, and I'll let you know.
Ricky R. Green. Phil's camping. What time is over there now? It's 8:20 a.m. Phil, I forgot where you're at. I know you've told me before, but I forgot. So good morning.
Good morning, Phil.
Good morning from us. Good afternoon. Ricky Green. HughesNet could always market their internet service for failover internet service for the data centers, or sell their outdated satellite services data centers. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So check this out. We just got confirmation from them. This is 10 seconds ago. The weather team. Now this is kind of interesting. The weather team is integrating a cumulus cloud coming off the ocean and heading towards the pad. So yeah, it's likely would cause a no-go status on weather. So now we have a cumulus cloud coming as we speak. But bear in mind, people, even though it's supposed to launch at 7, their launch window is until 9. So even though there's this cumulus nimbus cloud, this cumulus nimbus cloud coming, it should still, they usually don't last that long, and it should go. Like I told you guys the last time, I don't understand why any of these rocket organizations will launch in the afternoon in Florida. If anyone lives in Florida, on the coast of Florida, they know why. Why is it? You tell me in the comment area. Please tell me why you do not launch late afternoon in Florida. And then I'll tell you after.
I have the answer. I know. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
What was that?
I was like, I know. Eli, Samuel Adolfo, voce sempre será infinitos. Una buona notte de segunda feria de 28 de abril de 2025, horas 19:25. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Brazil or
Yes.
Portuguese. I hope I did it a little bit of justice, because I am not Brazilian or Portuguese. So thanks for being here.
To me, it always sounds Italian.
I know. Oscar A, good afternoon. Showers. Phil's camping. That's right. You're in Australia on the East Coast. Why do I always forget? Near the largest sand island in the world, called Fraser Island. An island of sand, and is in a tropical oasis, even though it's all sand.
Should we go visit,
that
Phil?
Sounds amazing,
what do you think?
Phil.
Should we go visit?
I can't even, you know what? Right now, at this moment in time in our life, that just is, that sounds fire. We're coming over.
We're coming, people.
Peter, DJ Neo, aka DJ Neo.
How you doing?
Here from Denmark, it is 24 a night. JN Thunder Boomers.
Thunder Boomers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's hope not. I don't know. All right, so what do we got here? What do we got?
Ricky Green, I like your channel because you break down the systems and explain everything really great.
Thank you for that.
The great content.
If you have any questions, ask me. If I don't know, I'll still answer.
Yes, just at JCristina. I'll type it in the chat again, because it highlights the questions. It's easier for me to separate it from regular convos in between everybody. If not, I'll just kind of miss them, even though I still try to skim through.
They just popped up with passing the L35, which is T-minus 35 minutes. The satellites flying on Project Kuiper's Kuiper 1 mission are a significant upgrade to the 2 prototype satellites successfully tested during the prototype flight mission in October 2023, launched by the Atlas V 501 rocket. Amazon has improved the performance of every system and subsystem on board, including the phase array, antennas, processors, solar arrays, propulsion systems, and optical inter-satellite links, which is those laser links. In addition, the satellites are coated in a dielectric. Now, this is important. A dielectric mirror film unique to the Project Kuiper that scatters reflected sunlight to keep them less visible to the ground-based astronomers. That is very, very important. So they are taking that right out of the playbook of SpaceX Starlink, putting the matte coating on, maybe twisting or turning the solar array during certain times of the day so it's not beaming onto the ground at night, and things that will hurt astronomy in comparison to what AST Space Mobile is doing. And that's why SpaceX Starlink, I don't want to give away everything, but SpaceX actually put in a filing with the FCC saying, listen, AST Space Mobile should not be granted their let's say, license to be able to fly. And the reason being is they don't have a lot of these things in place. And I'm not going to get into all of the things because there are a lot. So watch tomorrow's video for that. Any questions? Any hellos?
Not so far.
Let's
Fingers
see.
crossed we will
John
have
says,
one
how many
today.
satellites are
I
going
miss
to
John's
launch up
Oh, I
there?
did. I'm
So there'll
sorry.
be 27 satellites today, John. So we'll see if that happens or not. The last time we were here, I think it was the 8th or the 9th of the month. And yeah, we sat around and we ended up with a nothing burger. Hopefully today we actually see this thing fly. So I don't know. We're at T-minus, let's say 30 minutes. And as soon as we see them go live, according to what I'm seeing right now, it's saying T-minus 10:49 until they go live. So we'll see.
Shannon said I sent another, which may be a winner.
Oh, let me get in
Thanks
there.
for that super chat, Shannon.
Thank you, Shannon.
He's like, someone, please. I'm trying to answer his question.
Oh, man. Let me see, Shannon. And we will do download.
B2762. What is the lowest the satellites can go in LEO?
They're usually, I think the lowest is going to be right around 300 kilometers, 320, somewhere around there. Remember, when the lower you go, you not only sacrifice how much that cone strikes the Earth, but the lower you go also, you sacrifice the amount of propulsion that you have. In other words, the EOL, or the end of life of the satellites. Okay, you have only so much propulsion to keep it from falling back into the atmosphere and burning up, right? So that amount, it can only have so much propulsion on board, will keep those satellites up in orbit for a shorter period of time, meaning that you have to constantly turn and burn them based on how close they are. So when you start flying satellites around 300 kilometers, they're not going to be there for 5 years. You know, they're going to be there for like 2.5, you know, or somewhere around it. I'm speculating here, but it is definitely a lower or a lessened amount of time when doing that. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep it in mind. Let me see here if I can find that from Shannon.
Yes.
That'd be cool to
Jim
be able to
McHale.
get something in here. Let me see.
Jim McHale said they are never going to get enough birds up in time.
No, there's absolutely no way, but that's okay. I'm still hoping that they can actually do something. So we will see.
Okay. There was a comment here that I wanted to read.
I like that one, Shannon. Let me see if there's any way that I can put this in here in time. You do you, Feb. I'm gonna do some work here and see if I can get this on here. This would be pretty cool to be able to stick them in here. Let's see. Here,
Let's see.
Bezos.
Peter said, I am feeling better day for day, but I'm still going in and out of hospital, so very tired. Peter, I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm so happy you're here with us, and hopefully, you know, little by little, like you said, day by day, you'll get better.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
one day at a time. One day at a time, bud. But I'm super excited you're here. Like, woo!
Yeah.
Also, I love the new name, aka DJ Neo.
DJ Neo. I like it.
You'll have to explain that later.
Yeah. What is the DJ
Did
Neo?
some turntables have something to do with it?
It could be.
Ricky Joe said them Them Annette charter buses that have Wi-Fi, do they get their internet connection from satellites or cellular towers?
Which one of those charter?
Them Annette charter buses that have Wi-Fi, do they get their internet connection from satellites or cellular towers?
Usually it's cellular for the charter buses. Eventually,
They should
eventually
be
all of
on
the buses and the
Starlink too?
planes, they'll all have Starlink on the roof. They're
Wow.
just not there yet, but they will be.
Let's see. John Wolf, because I hadn't missed his question.
Yes.
I said sorry. Fab, it's cool. Sorry, I've been in a bad mood. I'm going through Medicare. That would make anyone in a bad mood.
Yes.
And after everything else has changed, it's crazy. You are looking good. Well, thank you, my friend. And I hope that things turn up.
Yes.
Brighter day tomorrow. But thanks for being here with us, crazies.
Yeah.
This is so weird and off for me because normally I'm not even here on a Monday, let
No.
alone a Monday night.
No. Yeah. That's true.
And
That's true.
and like somebody was saying good afternoon. I'm still like it's 4 o'clock. I looked at my watch. I'm like it's 6:30. I'm still at like 4. Good times. Good times.
All right. Let me see.
I'm moving Dancing Elon for a second.
Yes. Remove Dancing Elon. I don't know.
just
For
gonna-
some reason, it's not allowing me to add a new one.
So
Let
you
me see.
can't like cut them out and.
No. That's why. For some reason, I don't know why. Let me see here. Why isn't it allowing me? And let's see. Yeah,
Love it. I love it.
there we go.
All right. So, has anyone checked on the weather? I'm gonna check.
You
on
can
the
check on
weather.
it. If there's anything that pops up, let me know
Okay.
here.
Hold on.
No. Megabit is here. This is here. The Elon is here. Let's see
Weather.
here. Let's see if I can do
Oh,
it.
I love it. See? Peter said it was. He in his younger days he was a DJ, so now it is in my hand gaming handle. I love it. But once a DJ, always a DJ.
That's true. That is absolutely
That does
true.
not go away. Are you kidding?
Um,
That is amazing.
no.
No, it says it's 79 degrees in Cape Canaveral, mostly sunny, and it should be fine through the night. So 1 a.m., 10% chance of showers.
No, not so bad.
Would they cancel for, it just says wind gusts are up to 17 miles per hour.
Yeah, I mean that's not a good speed.
Really?
No. And that the cloud is what the problem is, guys. That
Yeah, but
cloud. So
It says mostly sunny.
yeah, but
And sunset is 7:55 p.m. And it says now through, it's going to be like fine. Just gusts of 17 miles per hour.
yeah, I don't know. Let me see if we're getting close here, guys. Hang in there. Let me see. No, it looks like not yet. They are not live yet. I
No?
don't see them live yet. Let me
Why?
see.
Are they running behind? How many satellites are they? Did you say
17.
17 satellites? are
Yep,
being
17
launched
satellites will be launching. 17 satellites.
tonight?
Let's see. No.
R.D. Vaughn had mentioned this comment earlier. I still don't trust Elon and his Hindu imports. That's funny.
Yeah, no, I know. Let's see, what do we have here? Yes. So they should be live as of right now, but they're not.
Yes.
So let me go and do this just so you can see it.
Phil's
And
camping. Don't know why. Here in Australia, a lot have decided to boycott anything to do with Elon. I have a couple of mates that have stopped using Starlink on their travels. Well, that's kind of dumb.
yeah, I mean, people do that, they'll, I don't know, like I'm not going to cut off my nose to spite my face. If I like something, then I'm going to use it. I don't really care. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't know. Everyone has like a different take on it. And that's the whole thing. Elon is very polarizing, right? So you either love him or you hate him. There's very little like in between. So, I don't know.
Spartan 1312, winds at 17 at the ground level do not mean only 17 in the sky.
Yeah, it has to.
Above,
Yeah,
correct.
exactly. Live video broadcast of today's liftoff is about to begin. So this is what they state, at least. So we will transfer over to them as soon as they do go live.
John
as of-
Wolf, is your kid doing okay in Texas North? Texas has been getting very bad weather in baseball hall.
2,
Well,
1.
we are
We have
lucky that
ignition.
our child is back in Florida, so
And
we are
liftoff
happy about
of the
that.
United
Yes.
Launch Alliance
Here we
Atlas
go.
V rocket.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to, because there is this music going on, and if I have that music playing, then what will end up happening is they will end up demonetizing the channel or making it like you just absolutely can't use it
Okay,
at all. So,
really quick.
yeah, go ahead.
I keep hearing it in my earpiece also, but Peter said, just a quick question. What is a ding that sometimes comes in and sounds like right now?
That is a ding that's coming through through the ULA site, which I'm going to now shut off, and you're not going to hear that anymore. We're
Okay.
going straight to them live right now.
Operations Center here at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. Liftoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. Eastern at the opening of today's 2-hour launch window. Launch windows vary by mission and are determined by the payload's destination. Today's mission is going to low Earth orbit, or LEO as we refer to it, and has multiple orbit insertion opportunities. So for today's flight, if the rocket and the payload are ready, and if weather permits better than last time, we expect to have Atlas liftoff at 7 p.m.
And always nice to have a 2-hour window. Sometimes we have much shorter ones, even instantaneous. So to have that extra time, just in case the team is working any issues today, is really nice to have. We'll be covering today's mission through the start of second stage engine first burn. For additional real-time mission coverage, follow along with our live blog at ulalaunch.com. And if you enjoy watching our live broadcasts, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for access to future missions,
Good enough.
launch highlights,
Good.
and behind-the-scenes rocket content.
At this time, the team is not working any issues and we're proceeding towards a 7 p.m. liftoff. Today's mission is
I like it.
dedicated to 3 teammates who are no longer with us. Let's hear about their legacies.
Today's flight is
All right,
dedicated
folks,
to
I'm
Bob
going
Howard,
to turn
Pat
that volume down, and I'll just turn that down. We can watch them while they're going through the intro here. I just want to say before they go and end up launching this thing, it seems like it's going pretty well. The only thing is the weather. They have no problems with the unloading of propellant, so that's really good. Everything is nominal. Can't beat that. So the only thing that we're worrying about at this point is simply what happens with the weather. And once again, like I always said, I wanted you guys to put it into the comment area. In Florida, you don't launch at the end of day. Right around like literally just as the sun goes down, or just about it's going down, all of that heat from the land and the cooler water, they interact and they intermingle into these massive cumulus clouds, and you end up with rain. This is just what happens close to the summertime every single night. So why they would do this, I really don't know, but that's what ends up happening, which is kind of annoying in my personal opinion. As I said this the last time, why are they doing this? But that's what they're doing. So kind of is what it is. If you have any questions, let us know. Shannon with the super chat, 20 memberships went through. Thank you so much for that, Shan.
Back here after getting scrubbed for weather during our first attempt. We were scrubbed out for cumulus clouds, but those weather rules are just as important as any other flight rule. So we got to take them seriously. But weather's looking a lot better today, and glad to be back here, ready to get this mission launched.
Yeah, and that's just one of the perks of launching off the coast of Cape Canaveral. So you can have beautiful weather all day long, and then in an instant, it can turn to a heavy rainstorm coming in the afternoon. And so our team just has to be poised and ready for any time that there's a scrub or any time that the clouds open up and let us have an optimal launch window.
And this was even more unusual in that we had kind of a longer time in between attempts. Normally we can turn around and launch again the next day, but in this case, even though the launch vehicle and the payload were both ready to go and have been the whole time. We needed to just give a little bit of time for some conflicts to work out on the range, and we're back here today ready to go. And we're actually coming up on a planned hold, which means that as the launch team and the launch clock are getting closer to liftoff, the clock will pause for short periods of time to allow the team to resolve any issues that may occur in the hours leading up to launch.
And if you were listening in last time, you will probably be familiar with launch counts
T-minus
that
4
you might
minutes and
already know.
holding.
The
This
L
is
minus
the
time
program,
refers to
15-minute
the
hold.
actual time
LC
remaining until
switching
launch.
not
And the
ready.
T minus time refers to the time printed on the
15-minute
countdown
hold
clock
on
that
that
reflects the
hold.
hold
Did
and
you
is
hear that
paused
in the
for an exact
background?
amount of time until the hold is released.
And by building in this time, we give ourselves a higher probability of an on-time liftoff. Today's countdown, which can be seen in the top left corner of your screen, uses the T minus time. And that time stops at T minus 4 minutes, which you can see we have entered the hold, and we are at T minus 4 minutes and holding.
Really quick.
And we
Yep.
are still taking that
Christopher
live
Yeager,
look
I
at
wanna
Atlas
see
5
Boom Boom
on the launch
Bezo,
pad.
LOL.
And as the
What'd
countdown
he say?
continues, our team
I want
is
to
taking
see
the
Boom
final
Boom
steps in
Bezo.
preparation
Yes.
for liftoff.
All
So
right,
looking
we're
at the
working
rocket,
on
you see
Boom
the
Boom.
first stage, also known as the rocket's booster stage, which is the large tank on the bottom. That is actually two tanks, one filled up with RP-1 fuel and the other with liquid oxygen. Of course, those two mix in the combustion chamber inside the RD-180. They're burned, and that's what gives the rocket its thrust. The other interesting thing is that liquid oxygen on the outside, because it's so super cold, the outside of the tank frosts over, and that's why you see that bronze tank actually looking white after it's fueled.
Atlas is also equipped with the Centaur upper stage, which drives the payload during the second phase of its flight to its final orbital destination in space. The payload fairing, or PLF, completes the rocket and provides the aerodynamic shape necessary for the climb to space. And as you can see on the upper stage in the PLF, we'll see the logos for Amazon, Atlas, ULA, as well as the American flag. So let's learn a little bit more about how ULA builds the Atlas V rocket.
Engineered in Centennial,
Roanoke
Colorado,
said the announcers
ULA's
look like they
Atlas
just
V
got off a
rocket is
24-hour
built in
shift
Decatur,
delivering
Alabama,
Amazon
and launched from
packages.
Cape Canaveral, Florida.
Guys, their launches at ULA are not the same as a Elon Musk SpaceX launch. Coverage is never as good. You're kind of having to figure out what Zulu time is and what is going on and kind of decipher things. And I try to do that for you live. Sometimes I can get it right, sometimes I don't. So anyways, that's just how it works. You know, there's no way around it. So
Solid rocket boosters are attached to the sides of the first stage for additional thrust at liftoff.
now we got that music in the
ULA's
background,
ultra-thin
probably going to be a
stainless
problem.
steel
Who knows?
Centaur upper
I don't know.
stage,
So what I'm
powered
going
by-
to do is I'm just going to drop that audio down a little bit so you guys can watch it. And if there's any other questions before they end up going live, we're at that hold at T-4. And they said there was going to be a 15-minute hold, so you probably have 10 minutes left probably. They're most likely going to get close to the 7 o'clock. So we'll see if that happens.
Charles R. Williamson said that when he was on the USS Karen, those of us with clearance got to see the shuttle launch from control.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Yeah, I used to love, you know, watch the shuttle launches. It's just to me, it's just amazing that it could even happen. Never
Yeah.
mind. I mean, it's just so cool. Yeah. Bezos doesn't want to play, sadly. I tried. I don't know. No Bezos. We'll get him on the next launch or the next time.
Let's learn more about Project Kuiper and what they've been doing to prepare for offering internet connectivity from space.
It all starts with a countdown. But a countdown to what exactly?
Nice.
6 years
While
ago,
they're
we took
while
out
they're
to
going
build
through all of
the
that, once
most
again, if you have a
advanced
question,
and
put it
most
in there
modern
right now.
communication
We have
system in
almost
the
about
world.
100 people on board, which is awesome to watch to
There are
see what
almost
goes on
3
here
billion
with
people that don't have high-speed
with Project
connectivity.
Bezos, let's call it.
Imagine if
So
they
we'll
had-
see what ends up happening with it. Hopefully it goes over well. Once again, that's all we have to worry about right now is weather.
Radioactive Texan said, sadly, astronaut KP is not on board.
Yes. Sadly.
Phil's Camping said the weather looks perfect. And Peter Gosling said, I love having Elon on a Bozo stream.
Do you love it? Shannon gave me a good Bezos, but for some reason, I don't know. It's probably because I'm streaming right now. It doesn't want to inject it.
Yeah.
But the next time I'll stick them in there. It's a pretty good one too. It's Bezos ripped. I love it.
Johnish Rad, do we have any indication of updates Starlink's incoming?
About what was it?
Updates Starlink's incoming.
The latest update on Starlink will be their version 4 when it comes to the terminals themselves. But as far as the satellites, will be the version 2 satellites, which will be, I guess you would call them version 3s. Right now they're called version 2 minis, but it's going to be a version 3 when they come out. But we just have to wait for the Starship to actually launch, because once the Starship launches, then they'll be able to put on board a lot of these massive satellites. I mean, literally the size of a bus. So 4 times the size and 20 times the capacity. That's going to be major. That means lower latency, faster speeds. It's also going to provide gigabit speeds for commercial use. And we're going to end up seeing a lot of people with coverage that didn't have it before. And those waiting lines are going to be gone. And also the fees of $100 and the $250 is going to go away also. That fee for that congestion fee, that's going to be gone too.
Okay, really quick. Ricky Joe, with internet, what exactly is the difference between broadband internet and high-speed internet, and where did they come up with the word broadband?
It's broadband is basically high-speed internet. They classify it as a certain speed, and that speed is usually right around, I think it's 20 to 25 megabits up and like 100 megabits down. And if you cannot provide that, then you're not considered broadband. Okay, you're an internet provider, but not broadband. So,
Eric McMahon, is there a payload? If so, what is it?
yes, the payload tonight is going to be 27 Project Kuiper satellites, and that's going to be the inaugural flight. So they have a total of 1,618 Project Kuiper satellites to launch within the next year and a half, which is absolutely impossible, but at least they're starting. They're like a year or two late, $1 short. That's usually what ends up happening with Bezos, but I'm okay with it. At least they're doing something. Do I think that this will ever get off the ground? Yes. Will it happen this year? No. That's my personal opinion. I could be wrong.
All right, what's the status of the...
Let's listen in. See.
Really quick.
This is Atlas Mission Control at T-minus 4 minutes in holding. Following liftoff, viewers watching the launch from Florida and points north and east might be able to see the Atlas V in flight. To get a closer look at this visibility map, check out at ULA Launch on social media.
Very cool. Of course, everybody thinks of seeing a rocket
Really
launch
quick.
right here close to the
John
pad,
Schrad,
but
so
even
wait, to
those
buy a
all
new
up the
Mini
east
or
coast of the
residential?
United States will be able to see that light streak across the sky with an evening launch like we have tonight.
Residential is going to give you
Taking
better
another
speeds.
look
Mini
at
will
the
give
launch
you
pad, all 27 of those
functionality of
Kuiper
moving it
satellites tucked
mobily
nicely
wherever you
in
want
the
to go with it. It's up to
77-foot
you.
Payload fairing there of our Atlas V rocket.
And this Atlas V rocket is actually our 551 configuration, so it's a 5-meter payload
Michael
fairing
Johnson,
with
tonight
5
is just a little
SRBs,
Kuiper snack.
and that's going to bring a lot
exactly
of
what it
power
is.
and a lot of thrust
Shannon
to the
said
rocket,
27
allowing
satellites,
it to
they will
exit
rule
Earth's
Bermuda with
atmosphere and
coverage.
get to our orbital insertion in our low Earth orbit
We will see.
destination.
We'll see what ends up
That's right, with
happening.
all 5 solids and the RD-180,
Radioactive
2.7
Texan, welcome to
million
Premium
pounds of thrust at
Submariner.
liftoff for this
Wow.
largest
Eric
Atlas V
McMahon, is Project
configuration that we
Kuiper
fly
going to
today,
try to land rockets in the
maximizing
near
the
future?
payload capacity to get as many satellites on orbit
Is
as we
Project
can tonight.
Kuiper
So,
going to
pretty
try to
excited see
land
this.
rockets?
As we get closer to the opening of our launch window, let's have a look at the weather forecast the launch team just received
That's so.
from Space Launch
Hold
Delta
on one sec.
45 Weather Officer Brian Belson.
Yes, Brian is not on with us tonight on another
Okay.
assignment, but he did hand us the forecast. We do have a
Forecast.
probability of violating launch constraints between 25 and 35%. It actually starts
That's
out
better.
lower at the beginning of the window, and then at the 20% it increases up to 35% as we
Who
make
would have
our way
thunk
through
it
the
that the
window.
weather gets worse in
Ground winds
Florida
are 17
as
knots
the
out of the
night
east, and
progresses?
temperature is 73 degrees. Primary concern for launch today is cumulus clouds, anvil clouds, and surface electric fields. So we are watching the weather very closely, as we always do. As we mentioned earlier, those weather rules are just as important as any other flight rule, but this weather today looks much better than our first attempt.
What was that
That's
last
right, Caleb.
question?
And these
Hold on.
weather rules are designed to keep the vehicle safe from wind, lightning, and other potential weather risks.
I
And we
skipped
mentioned earlier
Peter's
about measuring the
question. How
surface
goes it with
electricity,
Starship?
and that's basically the smarter way for saying that we are
The
watching the
status.
lightning and the potential for it to be in this area. One thing that we always notice here when you get a live look at Atlas on the pad is that you have 4 lightning towers situated around Atlas. And so that basically is there as a mitigation strategy. If there is lightning in the area, it's supposed to conduct through the towers instead of hitting our rocket and our very precious payload.
Very good. And you can get a better view of the clearer skies that we have. Still some clouds in the area, but still proceeding toward launch with acceptable weather right now.
They better launch quickly because that
Copy,
cloud doesn't
mission
look
enabled.
nice.
Shannon said, let's do our own fire launch.
Box 2, verify CISA
Fire that
purge
shit
flowing
up.
GN2 to the
Oh,
CISA.
I'm gonna fire it.
Verified.
OSM, verify the FCO, ROC, and OSM whole fire switches are in the proceed position.
Ready to proceed.
Nominal.
RLM, verify red line monitor event table are in the correct configuration for terminal count. Verified. RC, verify solar radiation acceptable for launch.
That was pretty
Verified.
good.
No,
Launch
It
on
would-
time
just
verified.
stop.
Roger. LC, switch to the ready position. All steps are complete prior to the status check.
We remain in the planned 15-minute hold as we continue towards liftoff.
Everything
In
is
a few
good.
moments, ULA launch conductor Scott Barney will pull the team for the final go to pick up the launch countdown. The launch coordinator conducts the launch team during countdown similar to how a symphony conductor is coordinating an orchestra.
She didn't just say
28
that.
engineers are pulled to confirm the rocket is ready to proceed. This is the final status check for all Atlas vehicle systems, ground systems, and the payload, as well as the U.S. Space Force Eastern Range. Let's listen in as he performs the poll.
-8 minutes.
There you go. 8
Okay.
minutes. So they are looking to launch at 7 or 7:01 Eastern Standard Time.
All right, really quick,
Yes.
because I skipped Peter's question.
What was
Welcome
it?
back, Peter.
Peter.
He wanted the status of the Starship.
Yeah, I originally thought that we would see it launch by the end of this month, and obviously I was wrong. So I would say definitely by next month we're going to end up seeing it. So maybe by the 15th, somewhere on there. They're working hard. They're also moving from a block 1 to a block 2, and now they even have a block 3 that's already in production, and it's working, let's say. So there's a lot going on with them. They're not sitting around, trust me. So hang in there. I would say we'll see another launch within the next 2-3 weeks, the longest. It might even be 2 weeks.
Okay, Thorn, not looking forward to the heat wave in the morning and thunderstorm in the afternoon, but very glad for this extended cool weather. Yes.
Yes, me too.
Christopher Yeager, fuel capacity seems low to me.
-7 minutes.
All right.
Status check to proceed with terminal count. Atlas systems, propulsion.
Go.
Hydraulics.
Go.
Pneumatics.
Go.
LO2.
Go.
Water.
Go.
Centaur systems, propulsion. Go. Pneumatics. Go. LO2.
Go.
LH2.
Go.
House gas.
Go.
Electrical systems, airborne.
Go.
Ground.
Go.
Facility.
Go.
RFFTS.
Go.
Flight control.
Go.
GCQ.
Go.
Op support.
Go.
Com.
Go.
Availables.
Go.
ECS.
Go.
Redline monitor. Go.
What's
Quality.
the path of this rocket?
Go.
Op safety manager.
Southeast?
Go.
ULA
North.
safety officer.
Go.
Northeast.
Vehicle system engineer.
Go.
Anomaly chief.
Go.
Range coordinator.
Path is
Go.
north-northeast.
Launch director.
You have permission to launch.
There you
Proceeding
go.
with the count.
Excellent. We got, what,
ALC,
T-5 or so?
Verify T0 is set for 2301 Zulu.
Verified.
021 Zulu.
Shannon asks, "Go flight
Complete, and the team is
trademarked."
go for launch.
From now until liftoff, launch conductor
Probably.
Scott Barney and the
Peter
launch team will
Gosling,
continue
bozo, no
reporting
go.
the final steps in today's countdown.
Bozo go.
This includes verifying propellant
Yeah, it might
levels and
happen.
pressures in the booster and Centaur fuel tanks, as well as arming the
just-
ordnance for
there's
ignition,
always-
separation, and flight termination
I
systems.
mean, who dresses these
At T-minus
people?
1 minute, the range
So
confirms it is in
bad.
a green condition for launch, assuring there are
Maybe
no
we should get
nearby
rid of
constraints
Elon.
like boats,
rid
planes,
of
or weather, and
shake
that
and
all
bake.
tracking systems
Watch
are
it not make
operational.
it. You guys.
At T-minus 25 seconds, you'll hear
Yes,
Go
they
Atlas,
do,
Go
William. They
Centaur,
dress
Go
like
Kuiper. This is the
old
final
ladies.
status check for the rocket and the payload.
Why young
To
people today
dampen the
make
acoustic
themselves look
shock
older
at
than they
liftoff,
are?
at T-minus 6 seconds, the launch pad's water deluge system activates, followed a few seconds later by the RD-180 booster engine ignition. Then, after seeing Atlas lift off, you'll hear flight commentator Sarah Bailey
Savage
Glasgow
flavor.
providing
Is
the
it feel-
updates as the rocket
Is
ascends.
it filled with soda?
Yes.
So, as you might have noticed, voices playing in the background of this broadcast, that
It's
is
us.
actually voices being played on our Channel 1 broadcast, which is
It's just
our
us, right?
internal
It's us.
net
We
system.
have
So
hacking.
You
hearing
know-
that
you know some
provides a
voices.
unique commentary that you normally don't see in this industry, and it kind of gives you a feel of what our exact engineers feel when they are sitting on console here.
They're gonna
so
put
we are
us on their
listening to
screen.
that together live.
Yeah,
Can you
very
imagine?
cool to
I
be
would die.
hearing Channel
I would
1
die
launch
right now.
conductor as well as
That is the
team,
difference
as we
between
proceed into these
SpaceX
final minutes
and a
prior to
ULA launch.
You'll hear them working through all those final steps leading up to
The ULA
T0,
launches feel a
which
little
is
bit
now
more raw,
past
whereas
the hour
the
and
SpaceXs are a little bit more
Start time.
polished, basically.
Yeah, and thinking about how big this moment is and how excited we are to partner with Amazon,
says she
that is
sounds
about
like
to
a
bring a constellation
chipmunk.
that's basically going to
I was
change the
thinking
world
Minnie
in
Mouse.
terms of internet connectivity.
Is it
A
Minnie
And
Mouse?
Disney
it's really
character.
cool that we're doing this on Atlas, which is the OG of rockets.
It's the
and,
OG.
Atlas has launched so many unique missions
Sweet.
and unique payloads.
I
and
just
set so
said that
many
it was
records
an
in the space
OG.
industry.
I
So
answered
It's
Phil's,
really cool to see a payload
Phil's
that's
camping. I
going to
said
share on
OG
Atlas and
sometimes is
Vulcan
better, so
as
they're going to
we
the
ride into this
OG.
future of ULA together.
really is cool
I'm
to
telling
launch
you,
this
it's
new
us
era.
in the
and
background,
we're
and they're
so
listening to
excited
what we're
about
saying.
talking about Atlas. We
And we
went
dress
right
better.
past T-minus 4 hold release, so you can see that hold is released and the clock is counting.
So, guys, they can do a hold at T-2, so we'll see what ends up happening with that. It's possible we see a T-2 if there's something wrong.
ULA's Atlas V rocket will fly northeast from Space Launch Complex 41. Here's a look at today's flight.
All right. Radioactive Texan. The top of the rocket looks like a suppository.
Well, I guess that's a nice way to look at the rocket. So, guys, it looks like it's going to happen. We're at T-2 minutes and 46 seconds. It can possibly stop at T-2 minutes. We'll see. But as long as that weather is still a go, everything was a go. You heard it, right? Once again, whenever you watch a ULA, you're literally sitting like on the comms and listening to what is going on. They did say 21 Zulu is when this is supposed to happen. We're seeing about 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the translation. If that is the case, we're about a minute away, but according to them, they're T-2 to 12. So they're probably going to go off at about 7:01, somewhere around there. Either way, it's good if it happens. We will watch. Let's hope that it actually goes through. Any other questions before they go live? Before they hit it, we have T-1 minute 53.
Yes.
They did not stop at 2 minutes. That's good.
Shannon did point out there's 155 people watching, not enough likes. The math doesn't add up. It never does.
If
Please
you enjoy the
like.
coverage, throw
Even
a like.
if you don't like
That'd be
it,
awesome.
do something.
If you don't like it, throw a thumbs down. For some reason, YouTube likes it either way.
We
tell people
take
that
them
all the time. I don't care.
I tell people all the time, confessions, whatever you want. Throw it this way. You
We'll
can
take
even say we
confessions.
dress ugly. I'm happy
Yeah,
with that too.
I'm okay with that. As long as you say something. It's better than nothing. Don't lurk. You can lurk. But you know what? Shannon or someone will call you out. It'll end up happening.
Charles R.
Peter?
Williamson said, check your GMT conversation.
Oh.
Here with Britt Porcelli for today's live coverage of ULA's Atlas V launch of Amazon's Project Kuiper satellites.
At this time, the team is not working any issues, and we're proceeding towards our liftoff at 7:01 p.m. Eastern.
7:01. There you go.
We just came inside of T-1 minute.
There we go, guys. This is it. Like the last time we were here for 5 hours. Maybe we're going to get out at an early time. Even when this launch is over, we're not going to say anything while this is going on. Keep it full screen like this. We're going to watch it, and then after we'll take questions too.
Verify ECS reduced for launch. Status check. Go Atlas.
Go Centaur.
Go KA-01.
There you go. KA-01 would be the Amazon
Jason
payload.
J said turn up it volume.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3. We have ignition. 2, 1.
Ignition and full thrust. 5 good SRBs.
And liftoff of the United Launch Alliance Atlas V rocket, carrying satellites for Amazon's Project Kuiper internet constellation, marking the start of a new chapter in low Earth orbit satellite
View is
connectivity.
now on closed loop control. Engaging first throttle segment. And we've completed our pitch program. Engine operating parameters continue to look good.
Wow, look at those clouds, people. Look
And
at
we've
those
successfully
clouds.
completed our roll program. Hydraulics continue to operate nominally. Mach 1, Atlas V is now supersonic. Body rates continue to look good. Engine continues to operate as expected. Throttling back up.
You're hearing Sarah Bailey Glasgow providing launch vehicle ascent data.
You'll see these
We're
break
now
off.
7 miles in altitude, moving at 1,700 miles an hour.
1700.
Now passing 1 minute into flight. Vehicle continues to pass through the center of the rain track as expected.
Nice.
SRBs continue to operate nominally. Throttling down, engine continues to burn as expected. Body rates continue to look good. Vehicle is now 1/2 of its liftoff weight. Max Q passing through maximum dynamic pressure.
Max Q. There you go.
Coming up on SRB burnout. And we have good indication of SRB burnout, 10 seconds from SRB jettison. Throttling back up.
Here they go. There's one.
And we have good indication
2,
of
3.
jettison of all 5 SRBs. Engine continues
And then
to
you
burn
have 2 on
normally.
the other side.
We are now
Everything looks
32
good.
miles in altitude, moving at 4,000 miles an hour.
We just heard confirmation
Coming
of
up
the
on 2
solid
minutes
rocket
into
booster
flight.
jettison. These additional motors augmented the thrust at liftoff to give Atlas rocket an extra boost to reach its circular low Earth orbit destination. These SRBs are called GEM 63s, which stand for graphite epoxy motor and are 63 inches in diameter. The most obvious difference you'll see between Atlas and Vulcan SRBs is the nose cone shape. Vulcan has a conical nose cone, whereas Atlas has a duckbill or ogive shape. We're coming up here on our next mission event, jettison of the payload fairing. Let's listen in to Sarah.
Continues to move down the center of the range track and is moving at 5,300 miles an hour.
5,300 miles per hour. There's a lot of littering that goes on, Shannon. There's a lot.
Body rates continue to operate nominally. And we are now holding acceleration at 2.5 Gs in preparation for payload bearing jettison.
I wish they
And we
had
have
telemetry
activated the
like SpaceX
Centaur
does.
reaction control system. And we have passed the Kármán line. We have exited Earth's atmosphere. Vehicle is now 1/4 of its liftoff weight.
1/4. Okay.
And we have good indication of payload fairing jettison. And good indication of CFLR deck jettison. Engine continues to operate as expected.
Flight commentator Sarah Bailey Glasgow just called out
Body rates
confirmation
continue to
of
operate.
payload fairing
Body rates
jettison.
continue to look good.
The composite fairing protects the spacecraft as it pushes through the harshest parts of the atmosphere. Next, we'll hear callouts for cutoff of the Atlas first stage engine and separation of the booster stage, followed by ignition of ULA Centaur's second stage.
These events occur when the first stage has escaped Earth's atmosphere, getting above the Kármán line and into space. The Centaur upper stage, with the Kuiper satellites attached, then takes over on a trajectory to a precise location in space. Let's just listen in as we approach these milestones.
Body rates are smooth. Hydraulics continue to look good. 30 seconds to pico. Boost phase chill down in progress. Temperatures are operating as expected. PU has gone to open loop control as expected. Engine continues to operate nominally. And we've completed boost phase chill down as expected.
Don says, when does it pass the point that Katy Perry
And we
made
have
it to?
good indication of booster engine cutoff.
It's the Carmen line. That's if she actually got there. I don't know. I saw
And
doors
we have good
opening
indication
inward,
of
outward.
Centaur separation. Restart on fuel and locks, good staging.
Rico Suave. I don't want to see the anime. What happened to the footage?
Ignition and full thrust. Arlington is running nominally.
There you go.
Todd, very primitive.
Steering has been enabled as
compared to
expected.
SpaceX.
Very true. ULA,
Engines are continuing to operate as expected.
they really need to get their telemetry on screen and a
This
lot of
is
other
Atlas
things.
Mission Control at T+5 minutes. We just heard flight commentator Sarah Bailey Glasgow confirm the successful completion of today's early milestones in today's flight, and all systems continue to operate nominally. So what we saw today, we had a nice smooth
Sorry.
countdown. Beautiful weather, beautiful liftoff, and
That's
Atlas
great.
V is on its way to orbit to take those 27 Kuiper satellites, put them on their way, and really start this.
So I
new
guess we're not
era
going to actually
in
see
internet
them put them on
connectivity. So
orbit.
Atlas
What
on
is
its way
the
to
what
making
is
history
said
again,
here?
Britt.
And that's what you
Oh, you
love
want
to
me to
see,
say what
Caleb.
it's
You love to
being
see a
said?
nominal launch, not working any issues, and the weather window work perfectly
Not
and
enough.
open
You
up
wanna
right
let
for us
them
at the beginning of
talk.
our launch window. So as we wrap up today's live coverage, we wanted to say thank you to all of you who have tuned in
There you
on
go.
today's flight.
So
and
I'm going to
remind
turn them down a little bit.
That's it.
That was the big thing.
Their lunch was as great as their fashion. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Oh Lord. Alrighty.
Yes.
Rico Suave, is that Chubby Gates?
Are they replaying it?
I guess so.
I think they're replaying it, guys.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'll just turn the volume.
Ignition and full thrust. 5 good
Yeah.
SRBs.
So I
And
guess they just
liftoff of the United Launch
replayed
Alliance
the
Atlas
original
V
launch.
rocket.
Hillbilly
Carrying
in
satellites for
Asia.
Amazon.
ULA
I'm going to just
sucks.
turn the volume down on them, and yeah, we'll just turn the volume down on them,
All right, so
and
I'm just gonna read off
and then
some
we
of
can
this.
talk. We'll just let that just keep running in the background. Matter of fact, I'll do something like, let me see, maybe we'll do something like this. This way we can kind of watch it on the side.
I'm gonna take Elon off for a second.
Yeah, take Elon off.
That was hilarious.
Yes.
I
so,
amused myself. I know you
so
guys
what,
liked
so what
it.
was funny? What did,
William said, I thought Carrie Patey was a deep
Carrie
sea,
Perry?
deep sea diver because she stepped into a puddle. Phoenix on Fire, they need to upgrade SpaceX. It's so much more fun to watch.
Yes.
Peter Gosling showing cartoon rocket video. They need to borrow Starlink system to live stream. Sarah, have just tuned in. What's the payload going to space, or is this a test flight?
Yeah, so this is full payload. It's going to be 27 Project Kuipers that will be on orbit as of tonight, but we don't have any confirmation because there's no cameras, there's no footage. There is no one besides Minnie Mouse just saying that everything is nominal, everything's good, and that was kind of like the end of it, you know.
All right.
But this is what they do. Remember, it's ULA, it's not SpaceX. SpaceX would be the equivalent to like a, you know, I don't know, a movie, like someone from California, like a movie, and this would be like, I don't know, it would be like kind of you with your like a camcorder running around, I don't know, doing some type of footage. So there's not a lot there, you know, but they can make it better. Number one, like I said before, they need to put telemetry down so you can actually see what the rocket's doing and you know what things are firing, when they're not firing, if there's any problems, you can watch them. And then also the commentating is just abysmal, but you know, it kind of is what it is. It is kind of neat though, listening to comms and hearing the background story of what's going on. Go this, go, 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 go. And if you heard someone say no go, you knew that all of a sudden that specific system has a problem and it's going to be held. That's kind of neat too. But I mean, people out there like you guys want to see a little bit more polished, but they're not getting polished as of yet. So maybe they'll get better.
Okay, Hillbilly in Asia. ULA sucks. No watch release of the SATs. Built camping. Why are they not showing more? Gayate.
Yes.
Peter Gosling. What a joke. Just like Bozo. Radioactive Texan. That sucks. No deployment video. Hillbillies in Asia. Why does SpaceX show way more? Rico Suave. Woohoo. Did you see it disappear? Thorn. Pre-recorded like Katy Perry. LOL. Shannon. So this is like getting worked up and she's saying we should wait. Blue balls. Great, Shannon. Built camping.
There you go, Shan.
Phil's camping. Elon must be rolling on the floor laughing. Savage, I think I will air my own bottle rocket, launch it. It will be more exciting, I promise.
Yeah, just shake it up with some.
Coke.
Yeah.
Rico Suave. Lame. Oh, Shannon said it's not Free Speech Friday.
It isn't, so you can't say anything.
Peter said, I am going to bed, so good night. Bye-bye. And Michael
Peter, thank you for being here.
Johnson.
So yeah, you know, this is what is to be expected. I like that it actually went up. Like I said before at the beginning of the coverage, this is really big for Jeff Bezos and Project Kuiper. Jeff Bezos still hasn't had Blue Origin put any of his satellites on orbit, and they've only put satellites up twice before, and that's it. So his rocket company really needs to kind of step up, but they do have contracts with ULA. They have contracts also with Ariane Space, and they have a contract with probably one with Elon Musk SpaceX, which they probably will not implement unless ULA and Ariane Space cannot get their satellites on orbit fast enough for them. And fast enough will never be fast enough because there's no way for them to do it. I think even if they were to use SpaceX for every launch going forward and they launched every week, they would probably still be short. Remember, they need to put on orbit 1,618 satellites within the next year and a half. If not, they can have their license pulled. We don't know if that would happen or not. They'd probably put in an extension or something, but there would be some type of fee, right? Some type of fine that will definitely happen. So, you know, take that for whatever it's worth.
Michael Johnson, it's better this way. If you don't see them deploy, you just have to believe they did.
I believe.
You're a believer?
I am a believer that Jeff Bezos's Project Kuiper is on orbit now, and he has 27 satellites. And I believe that Elon Musk has 7,100 and about 50. So he's getting there. He's at 27, 7,000. It's a little bit, but it's going to get there. It's going to get there. But when he says that there's going to be some type of service available by the end of 2025, it's just ridiculous in its face. And anyone that can do basic math, you don't even need to do complicational anything, any type of math that's complicated, you're going to know that you just can't, the math doesn't work out. The maximum they can put on orbit is like 243, I think I calculated, and that's like 27 every month going forward for the next 15 months. It's just not happening.
Robert wants to know how many satellites are needed to go Kuiper live.
Yeah, so, you know, I did the math on it, and, you know, I came up with like a base number of 405 is the maximum they can put on orbit in 15 months, 405. And that 405, you know, using a conal area of about 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers, it's going to be like 55 to 60% downtime. So no one's going to use a service like that. You know, you're going to end up with like basically no signal or degraded signal about 20 to 30% of the time. You're going to be completely out of range with absolutely no connectivity at all for about 20 to 30% of the time. And the additional, you know, that 50 plus will be like spotty coverage. So they're just not going to be able to do it for quite some time. They literally need to get about 1,600 on orbit just to have like a baseline of coverage. But for them to actually have let's say, here's an example. I did math because that's what I do.
You did math?
1,618 Kuiper satellites with a footprint of 1,000 to 1,500 kilometers, right, would give you approximately 85 to 90% coverage. Now, I don't know about you guys. If you were down 15% of the time, you would lose your shit, right? You're just going to be like, there's no way. I can't have this. So for them to actually have a 99% uptime like every other ISP, they need about 5,000 to 6,000 satellites. So even at the 30-some hundred, it's still not enough to be able to get 99 percentile. It's just not going to happen. And then people are like, well, Joe, why is it, 85% when they have 1,600, whereas they need 6,000 to get to that 99? Because it is let's say diminishing, the return, I guess the return looks like this, right? It's like this slope. Or you can look at it the opposite way. You need this many more to be able to get to that upper level. So you need a lot more if you do that. It's like just think of a curve, like a bell curve or something, right? So you need about 5,000 to 6,000 to be able to hit that 99%. They're not going to have it. So at 1,600, figure on about 80 to 85% coverage at that point. And how long will that take? So you guys can monitor it, right, for the rest of the year and see how many they get on orbit. And then you'll know in your mind, did they get close to 1,600? No? All right. I won't even worry about it. But there's going to be a lot of press out there. There's going to be a lot of these, God, I don't even, shills, I guess is a good term for them, that are going to state the absolute bizarre. And they'll be like, oh, Elon Musk now has competition. Jeff Bezos's Blue Origin and Project Kuiper is going to be a direct competitor to Elon Musk's SpaceX Starlink. Now that you guys know the facts, will you believe it? Hopefully not. So when you read the BS, you'll go ahead and turn your BS meter on and be like, you know what? I remember that guy, JCristina, there on his JCristina Live. He said it was bullshit, and he had even a meter that shows it was bullshit, and yeah, that's basically it. So anyways, that's my personal opinion. I don't know how it's all going to go down, but I just don't think we're going to see a lot of them by the end of the year. What say you? What do you think?
Well,
who are they going to use?
if you would stop talking, I could read.
I will
some
stop
things.
talking immediately. You're supposed to have kicked me like 6 times.
I do kick you. You're ignoring me, so I'm just letting
Did
you
I
run.
ignore your
Yeah,
kick?
you did. So
I
pretty soon
ignored
I
it.
was just gonna rip out that thing in your ear. Flick it.
Sorry.
Shannon, real quick, what are you talking about? The message for review. I am torn on that. Which one? What did I miss?
Seishan, she's supposed to be on this. And then she's
I
complaining
am
about me
on it.
speaking.
You just have diarrhea of the mouth and you keep going, so then I miss my spot and then this thing scrolls.
You see what happens? That diarrhea of space
He said,
nonsense.
never mind. You. Brandon
my
Perry,
God.
these have reignited my space race love.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for the super chat. Speedy Racer.
Thank
or
you
Speed
for-
Racer. Nice. Thank you so much. Really
Thank you,
appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank
I'm
you.
just going to
Thank
read
you.
through some of these real quick because I know there was some highlighted. Did you see videos where China boosted landed on highway and on a road from Hillbilly Asia?
Yeah. Yeah. I saw one of the boosters land in the backyard of like, I don't know, on the side of a mountain. And I even played the video, and all of these people are running in the village. Gayaka, Gayaka. They, like if Godzilla is coming, and they're just running, and the thing is just blowing up on the side of the mountain. And the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, didn't give two craps about anyone in that village that possibly burned to a crisp. They don't care. They launched another rocket the next day.
Peter
So yeah, I've
Gosling-
seen a lot of those.
Peter Gosling said, news just in, Bozo to start selling subscription to Clown College. Jay said, not enough providers for that timeline without SpaceX.
There's no way. Even with SpaceX, I don't even think they can do it.
Radioactive Texan, well, competition has to start somewhere. 27
That's
is a
true.
start. Yes, it
Absolutely.
is.
I love to see it.
Jason J, service is one small location 10% of the time.
Yes.
Rico Suave, I am talking.
Yes.
Remember, Cupid has Amazon groceries, and their satellites were delivered by Amazon packages, and the people all work on the conveyor belts.
There it is.
Radioactive Texan, he could have had more satellites by not sending the chicks up there. This is true.
That's true, right?
John Wolf has a question. How many satellites did Elon had up until they started letting people to use Starlink?
Yeah, it was 1,000 something. I can look that up. Matter of fact, I will look
Dark
that up.
Velocity, thanks for covering this, Joe.
Thank you for being here.
Hillbilly in Asia, Kuiper needs send 27 sats and by 52 weeks, 1404. So in other words, we will be all dead before Bozo has put any fake satellites in space.
It's just not even going to happen. I know.
Ben, the satellites may be a part of Amazon Basics.
Yes.
Brandy Perry, woo. Oh yeah, I read that one, sorry. William, you need a chat API that you can control.
Exactly.
Peter Gosling, Bozo to start to sell lessons on how not to launch an internet satellite company. And Brandon Perry, what is the T minus question?
T minus is T minus like T minus to launch. T minus to 0. 0 would be the launch time. So right now, guys, we're at T plus 18 minutes. and 10 seconds. It says main engine cutoff, or MACO, which is main engine cutoff. Confirmed for the center upper stage. The Atlas V rocket has reached low Earth orbit with its first satellites of Project Kuiper, advanced broadband satellite constellation. Well, there you go. I'll just narrate, okay, because they don't show you. I'll just narrate what they say here live, okay? That's what we'll do. So as of now, 18 minutes, 10 seconds, MACO occurred. Once again, that's main engine cutoff. And they're in LEO, and they're getting close to getting those Project Kuiper satellites injected, let's call it. Let's see. Yeah, so the first beta testing happened, let's say, or I guess the beginning of the Elon Musk, the web source. It says and June, I guess John asked this question, June 21. So June of 2021, there was 1,500 satellites active in low Earth orbit. That was June, once again, 2021. And that's when, kind of things started rolling out. So the original beta tests happened right around 1,000 satellites, right around there. 900 to 1,000 satellites. But remember, that's beta testing just to see how things are going to progress. But think about this. From June of 2021, there was 1,500 satellites. By today, right? By today, we're sitting at 7,100 satellites. So let's say getting close to 7,200. So close to 6,000 satellites were launched in these last 3-4 years. 6,000 satellites.
Rico said 27 min satellites.
21?
27 min
satellites. Yeah, 27 minutes. Yeah.
Hillbilly
we'll
in Asia,
see.
the final constellation will be deployed in 98 orbital planes operating at altitude 590 kilometers, 610 kilometers, and 630 kilometers. The first phase of deployment will focus on 578 satellites at 630 kilometers.
There you go. All right. So let's call it 600 at 600. Make it easy. Round it off. 600 satellites at 600 kilometers, whatever. So close enough. How long does it take them to get to 600 with ULA? Once again, do the math. I don't see it. It's not going to happen this year. I can tell you that for sure. It might happen next year. And it really depends on that launch schedule. And remember, by the halfway point of next year, they're going to lose their license. Or they're going to have to put in an extension and pay a fee and all kinds of other stuff. So we'll be monitoring it. I hope for the best. I hope that they actually put a lot of satellites on orbit and they can actually test them out a little bit better. Because remember, they put the beta satellites on orbit and they were there for literally like a month or two and then they let them burn up. I don't know why they did that. It was really strange to me. Instead of just leaving them there and doing a lot more testing, they tested for like days, not months. It's just weird, but
all right. Hillbilly in Asia, Project Kuiper needs over 3,200 satellites for its initial constellation.
right.
Peter Gosling said, oh no, we have bozo bobbleheads in space.
27 bozo
in orbit
bobbleheads.
now. Yes, I got you. Shannon, knock knock.
Who's there, Shannon?
And how much longer for questions?
Let's take it for another. We got about 100 and some people online right now with us. So let's do about 10 more minutes, and then we're going to call it. And I'm going to keep on watching this because supposedly at 27, someone said we should see the notification that they were all on orbit safely or whatever. But we will see. I'm going to keep on monitoring.
Again, why can't we see this?
Because they don't do any of that, right? So it's not like,
it's supposed to be like competition. Like you would think you would.
Yeah, you would think, right?
Want people to see that.
So I think that if ULA actually did do something similar to SpaceX, they would get more publicity. People would be more hype.
Yeah.
They would be more on board with them. They would be rooting them on, But when they do stuff like this, where it's just like, oh, okay, we launched it and I don't know, everything is good and that's it, just listening to comms. It's kind of just, underwhelming, I guess, to be
Shannon
nice.
said Jeff
about it.
Bezos. That's who's here. Knock knock. Jeff
Yes,
Bezos.
Jeff Bezos. Let's see. So they actually concluded. So I thought that they would. So at their Mako, or their main engine cutoff, the next release that they provided was their final release. And it says recap. This concludes the live coverage of today's countdown liftoff of the Atlas V rocket
That's
on
it?
the first Project Kuiper mission from the Cape Canaveral, Florida. The recap of the United Launch Alliance, or ULA, rocket departed Space Launch Complex 41 at 7:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, delivering to orbit the first Project Kuiper satellites for Leo constellation. The 7-hour countdown started at blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to go through it, but whatever. So they didn't even give the thumbs up on the release of the Project Kuiper satellites, which I think is kind of strange. You would think that would have happened.
Todd Thibault said they suck. Exactly.
So, but yeah, that's kind of it. But anyways, any questions you guys have, put that at JCristina, and we'll get into those questions right now.
T-minus 10 minutes.
T-minus 10 minutes. I like that. Exactly. We should put like a countdown going or something.
Oh, Shannon, I'm sorry I messed up your dumb joke. It's Monday, Shannon.
Yes. Only free speech Friday, when everyone's exhausted. That's that's when they work. They work out
David
better.
Hyman said Project Kuiper seems to need a diaper.
Yes, Project Diaper.
Kuiper needs 22 launches, meets the FAA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 22 launches. 22 launches. So what I don't get that.
Oh, jeez. I don't either. I figured you did.
No,
but
so
sounds funny.
22 launches, even if they did 27 per launch, would get them, let me see, 22 times
DJ LES.
27 would be 594. They don't meet the FAA requirement until they meet 1,618. So no, that won't be enough. Hillbilly, I don't think so, at least. 22 launches would, once again, at 27 per launch, would be 594. They need 1,618 to meet the 15, I think it's 15 months from now, or 13 months is left or something. So I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know.
Michael Johnson, Elon should replace AWS with server in space. Greg Linville, hi Joseph. I know it may have been asked, but do you think there will be a price war and who will come out on top?
God, I think you need to have a service before you have a price war. They're just not close. I think the Chinese are much closer than what Project Kuiper is, right? They have 27 satellites, which is nothing. The Chinese are doing better, and the Chinese are also trying to land their rockets, unlike ULA, unlike Blue Origin. I haven't seen one land yet, successfully land. So until we start seeing them landing, right, and you end up having the reusability that SpaceX has with their Falcon 9, it's just simply not possible, right? It's just not possible. So, like I said, what does Hillbilly say here? It says phase 1 deployment, 578 satellites at.
Read,
Hold
but
on.
you keep
Go ahead.
talking, and you're
Go ahead.
skipping.
Sorry.
Greg Levine. Oh, you just answered that. Greg said, "I'm getting a funny feeling we have our chin pulled, and this is not going to happen at all." Phil's camping 22 shooting star. That's funny. Hillbilly said phase 1 deployment, 578 satellites at 630 kilometers. Altitude phase 2, 5 further phases of development and deployment are planned.
Yes. So yes, the different phases is fine, but the thing is to meet the FCC's or FAA the requirement before they lose their launch license would be FAA launch license would be that 1618. So that being the case, is what is it, 3,200 and change for the full constellation. 1618 is just not there. So, so even at the 578 is not going to be there. That would still put them at about 1,100. Let's call it shy, 1,000 shy. So yeah, it's going to be difficult. And who said that someone's pulling their chin? Who is that? Craig, you are spot damn ass on. I've said this in the past. I think that eventually Jeff Bezos will pull out of this project. I don't think that it'll go through. That's what I've said. I could be wrong, but I stand with you there, man. I do believe that they're not going to do it. And even though they have all of these launch contracts on board, it was 80 plus, whatever it is. I don't know. I think it's just too late, too little too late type of thing. And it's just difficult to be able to catch up to make it a viable make the competition viable. It's just, I don't know. I hope that they can do it, but I'm in the same boat as you. And I think that eventually they're going to pull the plug on this thing. And those satellites that are up there, they're going to let them burn up, or they'll just sell them off to the government or something else. But we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong, because once again, we need competition, and the competition that we need is not China.
Okay, Peter Gosling, why do you think they didn't say the satellites were successful? It's because they are all chatty diapers and that they use for Kuiper, and they don't want us to see the shit in orbit. Jason, bet they will try to get the timeline pushed back. Shannon, do you know the cost of this launch compared equivalent launch at a Falcon 9?
I did not, but that's a good question. I'll have to do some research on that. I don't want to speculate, but I can tell you it is a lot more. Just because the reusability alone saves millions, right? So yeah, okay. I don't know, but I will look that up.
Radioactive Texan, all right, guys, got to go to the store and get some popcorn to watch 27 satellites re-enter and burn up. See y'all on FSF.
Oh man.
Build camping. They're trying to land them in their highways. Craig, I think this is starting to sound like a big can of BS. Thai Xiong. Starlink already 3 steps ahead of all competition.
Yeah.
Phil's Camping should be a great light show tonight. Get your deck chairs out. Michael Johnson. My grandpa used to tell me stories about when they started this project during the Great Depression. Yay, progress. DJ Les, got my chairs out. LOL. Hillbilly in Asia. Jeff Bezos, a Democrat. He get a waiver. And yeah, Todd Theba. Elon already locked.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's pretty much locked in for Elon. And that's why Elon Musk doesn't mind, ride sharing and putting any of Jeff Bezos' satellites on orbit. The problem is Jeff Bezos is like every other billionaire. They have a very large chip on their shoulder, and they don't want to kind of say, you know what, we need your help. And he was going to be sued by his own board because he was not using or contracting with SpaceX, who could actually get those satellites up there a year ago, 2 years ago. And the board's like, you know what? Either, Jeff, you're going to do it and you're going to put a contract in with SpaceX, or we're going to sue you because we're losing money every day and nothing is happening here. This is ridiculous. Blue Origin, your own company, isn't happening. And that's all we have left is ULA because Arianespace doesn't have a vehicle that they can launch today. So it's a problem right across the board.
Okay, last question. Moved North Homestead. Just got home from work. What is the 2-hour launch window?
Yeah, it's already launched. Yeah. It's done. And okay. They no longer have any coverage on it at all. They have no live updates, and they called it good as of just, what is it, like 15 minutes ago.
Hillbilly in Asia. My father cousin is a senator. He already got a waiver when he get the first phase in orbit. There you go.
Yes.
It's already happened. Moved North Homestead.
So Elon Musk could just pull out this can right here.
This is my can.
And just hit it and be like, you know what? Here's a can of whoop.
That's my can. It's custom made. If you
want
one, happened. Go to the shop. I'll make it for you.
She made this. This is what we have, like, just sitting around the table. I don't even know. So
we're classy that. This is a classy show.
Yeah, we got a can of whoop ass. So
Craig said no, won't happen, Joe. By the way, love your vids. Time for bed. here almost 1 a.m.
Thank you so much,
Oh,
guys.
Phil, he's gotten so many cakes. You guys don't even realize
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Tonight, he's just
And my
ignoring me.
knee, I smashed it on marble,
Oh, that's
working
right.
on the
I
tile.
forgot.
She's hit this knee so many times. I
forgot.
I wince inside from pain, but I don't even put it out. I don't even express it.
Totally forgot.
She forgot. So I'm working on the bathroom like she wants me to do. I'm putting in marble, and I was getting out of the tub, and I literally kneed the marble overhang, and I hit it so damn hard you can hear it echo. If that marble was ever going to break, it was going to break then. On my knee, it didn't break. So
Why
we're
does
good.
Our life and our bathroom always have to come into your videos?
I
And
don't know.
also, I just want to say that if anyone knows of a place where I can buy chainmail, let me know, because every single time this man starts to do any type of a project, whether it's big or small around the house, he has to maim himself some
Don't
way.
believe her.
Cut himself, slice himself,
Nonsense.
hit himself, hammer his fingers. So
Complete BS.
this is how we're just ending this.
It doesn't happen.
Like Bozo, just Bozo
Yes.
the clown.
And by next time, I will have a dancing, thanks to Shannon, but
Craig
it's not
said,
dancing.
"Show the whipped boy, LOL."
Yes. So Shannon, thank you for that green screen of Bozo over there. I will have him up by the next, maybe the next live, maybe by Friday night. I don't know. We'll have him up there.
We
so.
need some updated things.
We need updates. We're going to put Bozo in there.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you,
I know
Peter
it wasn't
Gosling.
amazing, but you know what? Coverage is coverage. Hopefully you enjoyed us hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
And
I know you guys love my commentary. I know all this stuff inside and out. I'm the guru
she's
here.
good. She is the guru. She's Guru Bada Bing.
Yes.
That's what we call her. Guru Bada
I
Bing.
have the pinky ring.
Guys, thank you so much for being
thank
here.
you, Shannon, for all the memberships,
Yes.
for all the super chats as always.
Peter.
Thank you to Peter for
All of the
your
super chats also.
And I know that he already left the chat, but DJ Neo,
Yes.
which was Peter Madsen, thank you
Peter
so
Madsen.
much. He came to watch us and we've missed you, so we're happy that you're on the mend and come back and
Yes.
see us again.
Back and forth in the
Yes.
hospital,
Honey
but that's
Badgers,
okay. At least
good night.
you're
Thank
getting
you.
there.
And everybody, enjoy your evening, Monday night. I know it's already Tuesday, other places.
There'll be another
so-
video for you guys tomorrow. It's already in the can tonight, being worked on and edited, so watch for that tomorrow. It has to do with AST Space Mobile and SpaceX filing a rebuttal
Yes.
to their license.
Yes. Don't
That'll
forget
happen tomorrow.
to like, subscribe, share, thumbs up, thumbs down, complain, confess, whatever it takes.
Whatever you
we'll
wanna do.
take it all.
Right down below.
Yes. And we'll see you on FSF.
Yeah, and we'll leave the chat going for another 5 minutes, and then we'll cut it.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys. Blessings. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.